Hi, I'm Christina, and I'm hosting today's Taco Talk with Black and Brown Theater featuring Cameron Beckham, who plays the father in the Rapunzel movie. So, let's dive right in.
Come on and talk about it, talk about it, talk about it. Come on and talk about it, talk about it, talk about it. Come on and talk about it, talk about it, talk about it. Come on and talk about it over tacos. Come on and talk about it, talk about it, talk about it. Come on and talk about it over tacos.
So, let's dig into these tacos. Tell me
Yeah.
what you got.
I have some of the best looking steak tacos I've ever seen in my life. And then I got a
Oh,
shredded chicken taco waiting for me as well. Not to
nice.
mention this rice and beans that I'm going to join together. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. What about you?
I decided to go with the classic frijol vegetarian tacos today with a
Hmm.
little bit of lettuce, tomato, bean, rice, and cilantro and onion.
Proof you can get your protein without meat.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. So keeping it light today. But yeah, tell me a little bit more about yourself, Cameron. How did you get involved with Black and Brown Theater? And let's dig in.
Oh, tell you about me. My favorite question. Let's see. I do like long walks on the beach. They're amazing, but who doesn't? Um, Ultimately, as far as it contains or pertains, I'm sorry, to acting, I really enjoy making people laugh, and I enjoy getting them away from the stresses of life, coming into this world with me and the world that my castmates, writers, and directors help build. Bringing them into that just because life outside of it isn't always fun. So when we got some time outside of not being fun, let's have some fun. As far as when I got involved with Black and Brown Theater,
Yes.
um, Emilio reached out to me through email because I had submitted through this database that they had.
Mm-hmm.
And when he hit me up for the Fool's Gold show, I was so excited
Okay.
because it was my first chance to get back to acting after I had to take a break. Well, I guess everybody had to take a break in the pandemic, but yeah, getting a
Yes.
chance to get back to it, I was so ready. I was so ready. And then it was just such a beautiful process to get through that show and other shows with them. So very thankful that I got that email.
Awesome.
Yeah,
I'm so
very
glad that
thankful.
you were able to connect in that way and get started in that way. Can you
Mhm.
tell me a little bit more about how you began acting? Like what drew you to the art?
Yeah. So what drew me to the art is I've always loved TV. I'm just gonna be honest. I always love watching shows, especially comedies, from Fresh Prince to Bernie Mac,
Oh, yeah,
stand-ups too
Bernie.
as well. But ultimately, what got me to do it and to move forward with it was I was living with my best friend Lonnie downtown. Shout out Lonnie. And
Oh, Lonnie.
ultimately, we were in our mid 20s, and we just thought, in his words, something got to shake.
Mm-hmm.
He had a favorite movie called Law Abiding Citizen with Jamie Foxx and Gerard Butler. That's one of his favorite movies of all time. And he kind of gave us a premise set up around that, like a treatment, I guess it would be called now that we know what a treatment is,
Mm-hmm.
or a synopsis of a show that he had going around in his mind. And he said, let's write a script. We wrote a script. And somehow it started taking like real life form. So it went from mind to real life. I guess they call that manifesting. There we go. So we
Yes.
manifested it, got it from here to here. And from there, we got the script and then we started producing the show. Got a plot, got locations, got someone to shoot it for us, and we started with auditions.
Mm-hmm.
Auditions actually went very well. We got people who made the characters more than even what we thought they would be.
Mm-hmm.
So shout out to everyone involved in that process of Lawfully Corrupt on YouTube. And
Okay.
the character for me, because ultimately the two main characters were based off me and him, best friends, getting
Mm-hmm.
through whatever the plot was them getting through. And we couldn't quite find the character to be me, so I said I'd do it. And which may have been a little bit of arrogance, a little bit of wanting to just try something new. But in the process of doing so, I found like I had so much fun, so
Yes.
much fun. Just doing it, bringing a character to life, being the idea of acting and being more dramatic, a little more flair than I think I would go through life normally with. It was so fun. It was so fun. So we did that, brought that to fruition, which was beautiful to be a part of. And then I was able to be a part of other people's films and just learn the art, being around pros, people who did it a lot, people who did it every day. as their lifestyle and who are doing it since kids. Like, we're theater kids who are now doing it as adults, making it a profession. And I'm a theater adult just trying to have fun. But learning from them was great. And then a few years later, that transitioned to stage in 2019. Did my first play in Hamtramck. And then pandemic gave us a break. And then 21 got that email and just been trying to build and work on the craft ever since.
So was the performance in Hamtramck related to Black and Brown Theater too,
No,
or separate? That was just another opportunity.
Theater. Yeah, that was just my first opportunity in theater as a whole.
So this was after the start with the web series.
Oh, yep. Web series was 2016, actually.
Then you had the opportunity to perform in Hamtramck, and then it led to meeting Emiliano.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Absolutely.
Now, do you dip your taco in the salsa, or do you pour it on there?
I usually try to dress it with the salsa.
Okay.
But sometimes at the end I'll dip it.
Yeah, you gotta make it aesthetically pleasing. But that last bite always gotta bless yourself.
Yeah. I'm curious to know, since you've been just hitting the ground running with your acting and trying to pursue different ways to expand your skill set, how do you memorize all the new scripts and roles that you take on? What is there any tips that you have for that?
I wish I had some crazy method. I wish I did. It would sound so cool, but I don't. Just do it. Do it into the way I look at practice and reps is do it till you can't get it wrong. A lot of times people will stop when they get it right.
Yeah.
But you can still mess up. Do it till once you start saying certain words, you almost can't help yourself to go into the line, even if you're in real life. That's how much it should be in you.
Yeah, like a second nature.
Exactly. Because once you start going and you got it down, that's when you stop. You're always acting, but the point is to never look like you're acting. And once you're actually giving the lines from somewhere from around here as opposed to outside of here, you're trying to okay, well, this person said that, now I have to say this, that becomes obvious. But when the line, when it's in you, it becomes a conversation. And that's when the line blurs between you are that character and then quote unquote acting. Because everybody, what light through yonder window? Okay, that's fine. You got the line, but are you acting? You know what I'm saying? Or are you feeling it? So yeah, reps.
So it's just repetition then.
Yeah, that's mine. I know a lot of people, some people that record it, literally say it out loud, record it and listen to it all day. I can't hear myself talk all day.
Yeah.
And I talk to myself enough. So I just read it, and then if I have someone who can help me go, I'm the only person guaranteed to listen, right? But just do it a lot. And if someone's there to help me go over my lines, to be the other person or other people, that's great. But just read it all day, every day.
All day, every day.
Yeah.
So breathe, eat, sleep until.
Until you can't get it wrong. Okay. Even your accidents are still in character. So yeah.
That's awesome. I like that. Some people do different, there's yoga movements you can do too to help you recall content and information.
I'm very into some yoga movements because so a little bit about me, I ride motorcycles, and especially in Michigan you only get 6 months, but during those 6 months, because you got to hold on to it for dear life, the hips get a little tight. Yoga helped me have a little bit more mobility and flexibility to get to so I'm very much a fan of yoga, and this is me finding out that it's good for acting.
Yes,
that is crazy to me.
Have you heard of pranayama yoga?
Nope.
So there's certain techniques you can do with pranayama where you either grab your feet, put your head to the ground, things of that nature, simple poses, but if you do them before you ingest the content that you're supposed to memorize, it's supposed to help enhance your memory of that content. So,
I'm gonna do my Googles and get my poses together.
I'll give you the name of a DVD.
Yeah, please do. Please do.
So that's cool. So tell me a little bit more about this Fool's Gold performance that led into more of expanding your acting skills and outreach.
Yeah, so Fool's Gold was so fun. Even the rehearsals were fun. We were rehearsing Royal Oak, and we would start with these games, and buzzing bees, and just these acting and improv games that they were fun. They were just fun. I never wanted to admit to it, but I was very competitive the whole time, and I wanted to win every game. But this is me admitted to it on camera. I said it. It's on the record. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm competitive, but they were so fun. And then by the time we got to it, though, it was I was able to see, because they are like theater games that I would have played growing up if I was into it as a kid.
Yeah.
They help prime the body, like the workouts, the mind, the concept of saying different things, different ways, intention, things like that. Like the games truly help you. And they're just games, but they help you when it's game time, which
Yeah.
is when the play is ready, and they help you practice better. And so it was good to be exposed to that. Like that was just the rehearsal.
Mm-hmm.
So the first performance when we were at this middle school in Warren,
Okay.
it was quite a bit of energy like in the room. Like once the kids came through, they were very much ready to see a show.
Yeah.
And that performing in front of kids is terrifying, utterly terrifying. Every goosebump I had was on, like, I had hair that I didn't know I had. It was like standing up on top of the hair that I didn't know I had. I was so nervous. But I had this dragon outfit, which was great because it kind of helped mask me.
A dragon.
And, yeah, a dragon, definitely. It was great. I always wanted to be a dragon. So it was me living like every dream I could theoretically live at once. So I went out there, the cast and I, we killed it. Admittedly, we killed it. The kids loved it. They had so many questions. They wanted to meet us. They wanted to talk to us. The representation was great too, because they got to see people that look like them be in positions that, Disney is finally figuring it out a little bit, but they're not, not a little bit, but they're figuring it out. But it's important to everybody to see themselves in various positions, and I guess that's the whole scope and point of Black and Brown Theater too, is for that. But it was good to see it. That was my first time to see that up hand where it really matters.
Yes.
To me, growing up, it wasn't anything that I personally thought of, but that's just my worldview. That's just my perspective. Seeing it matter for real was something that was very impactful to me as an adult. So that was great. And then the other performances, one was in the library in Ann Arbor.
Okay.
And that one was a little bit of a younger crowd, but they were so invested. Like, they were so invested. And that's the beautiful part about kids, their imagination. And so whatever world we created, they were fully in. Like, there was no part of them still in Ann Arbor. They were in, whatever. They were in the Fool's Gold Land.
Right.
And they reacted to every portion. The dragon was, oh goodness, not a dragon. Like, it was them. Their full participation made it so much more rewarding.
Yeah.
That was great. So Fool's Gold ended up being a real gold metaphorically as far as an experience. Absolutely.
That's so good to hear.
Absolutely.
I love to hear that type of impact that you would have on the youth, because that's really what we want to do, is engage them and inspire them to try and express themselves in that way so that they can have a channel and outlet.
Definitely.
Maybe later on that they could pursue. So that's so exciting to hear.
Yeah. It was a two-way street, though, I gotta say. For whatever they may have got from me, I probably got more from them. Because, like I said, from the energy, and then, like I said, the perspective of how happy they were to see someone, I was like, that's...
Yeah.
I don't know who it got, so I don't know if they spoke the language. That's the true test. If they speak the
They
language,
do.
then Okay.
They do in there. Yeah.
Well, in that case, that explained everything, because I'm having the time of my life.
So how did you go from taking on the challenge of, wow, this is going to require me to put in a little bit extra work than what I'm used to flowing into it and being completely confident that you were going to execute?
Confidence, what sometimes I call irrational confidence. And I feel like you need that in order to, especially like in the arts, like it takes a bit of, and I mean this in the best way, it takes a bit of arrogance to put on something that you think people are going to take time out of their day to see, to listen to, whether it's music, whether it's art, you can call it all art, but I mean like drawing art, painting art, whether it's music, whether it's art, whether it's plays, TV shows. It takes a little bit of arrogance to take these extensive amount of resources and assume that people are just going to enjoy what you put together. But I have the confidence that if I put the work in, people will find it enjoyable and time well spent, money well spent, whatever. So I think that's the first part, is confidence. And then following up that confidence. Like, I don't know if anyone's religious, but the Bible mentioned working in harmony with your prayers. So you can want something, but then you have to work for it to get it. Like, wanting it isn't enough. So, and even having confidence for it isn't enough. You can have all the confidence, raw talent, whatever. Everybody gonna see if you don't put the work in.
Right.
And so, I had the confidence that I was gonna get there, even though I had the self-awareness that I wasn't at the time. I knew I'd get there. I was overwhelmingly confident that I would, because I was just as confident that I put the work in to be so. Like I wouldn't just mess my way through it. Like I took it seriously because it meant something to me.
Yes.
So, but yeah.
So acting in that faith, that's really great to hear. You mentioned earlier about your experience during and after the performance and the impact that you felt that you made. Can you tell me about a little bit more about how that maybe put some wind in your sails or inspired you to
Yeah. No, it lit a fire under me. Fully. Both in real time and after. So before the main Rapunzel performance, that was downtown. So that was the biggest crowd I'd ever performed in front of. So it was like
so exciting.
definitely couldn't have all these people see me mess up. No, I can't do that. So I had to put that pressure on me. But you know, pressure makes diamonds. And as far as the impact, it was also my nephew got to see me, which was hype.
Oh, wow.
So he was like, "What you?" I was like, don't even worry about it. Like, that's how Uncle is, but it is. But the kids there, having them see, like, for example, the young black girl seeing Crystal as a princess, it was one of the most precious moments I've ever witnessed in my life. There was like, "Can I see?" And they were like, they felt she was a real princess. They were almost timid to meet like royalty.
Aww.
And then Chris, she's her sweetheart. She get get down, hug them. Oh my God, they want to play with the braid. Blah blah. Like it was just such a beautiful moment. And you have the prince. They're so happy when they fall in love. Oh my goodness. And they're like, during like my moments as her father, I have to give her away, and then when I get her back. And even like their laughter, like they're like, "Oh goodness," or they're like, "No, don't trust her." Like they're so vested,
yeah.
And they were so vested, but also cared whether or not it was a quote unquote good show. Like they wanted to still be entertained, even though they were vested in these characters. Yeah. And we as a team were able to pull off both of those, like for all their performances. And it was so hot too, and then I'm bald too, so it was like I'm sweating through that mug, so crazy. But it was such a great experience to have that energy. Like it fuels you, like you literally feel it. Like
yes.
I don't know what meter can measure it, but you do literally physiologically feel that energy in your bones and your cells outward, and it influences your performance. So everything hits harder, it hits faster, it's louder, the moments hit better because they being the crowd are giving you that energy, and then the whole you feel so fulfilled after when you talk to them, you get in the crowd, you walk through it, they want to talk to you, they want to ask you questions, the kids, the adults, the parents, they're like, "Oh man," the parents loved it.
Yeah.
So, and we didn't even have any of those, like if you watch older cartoons, they have a lot of low-key adult themes. We didn't really have that either. It was just enjoyable whether you were a kid on up to adults, parents, grandparents, and it was just an enjoyable time period for everyone involved. And that was just so beautiful for me to witness. Like from us to the crowd, like it was crazy.
That's so powerful to feel that impact that you're having while you're actively performing what you work so hard to express, to put on, and then to get that live real time. Yeah, I bet you didn't really sleep. You didn't go right to bed right away that night.
So I do get very nervous, but you can ask anybody who's known me. One thing I'm not gonna miss is my sleep.
Yeah.
I'm on vacation. I'm always gonna get my sleep. So I got my 8 hours definitely the night before, but on like the energy I felt in the pit of my stomach, I felt like my kidneys were touching. I was so nervous.
Whoa.
And then and it was like music people there too. Like 6 Mile Strings, for example, was there. And so it's like all these people, they're so good at what they do, and it's like I can't let them down. Can't let them down. So from there, it just being around, and I was ready to go. I know I'm tripping over my words, but it's that same energy being like recalled in my body. Mm-hmm. Like it's that nervous energy, but that's the point of practice. So even once you start, your body kind of, like you said, enters that flow state where you're not even conscious of what's going on. You're just handling your business, kind of not on autopilot, but almost an out-of-body experience. Yeah.
And it's such a great feeling after the fact when you accomplish your mission and you got
it.
Yes. Talk about that, because that's what I'm talking about. Like how after that you're like, dang, I'm not gonna go to bed right away. Like I need to process it.
I had I celebrated definitely because a lot of people close to me, like a lot of people close to me, that was their first time seeing me be able to perform.
Oh,
Like,
wow.
I always say, Emilio let my mama see me perform for the first
that's
time.
wonderful.
And so, like, that was something to celebrate. So, you know, celebrate it every time somebody got to see me. Absolutely. So that energy was a little harder to sleep off than the night before Nerves, just because it was like, I was just so happy. Like, like cramping cheeks kind of happy. Like, every piece of enamel I had, I showed probably for 72 hours straight. Like, it was, that was like true, profound happiness. That's one of those moments I'm gonna always remember.
Wow.
As long as my memory works, that's one of them.
Yeah, that's
and probably
like,
after.
Yeah, that's so good to know that this experience for you was a memory, one of the best nights of my life. That's what, when I hear you describe that, it reminds me of one of the best nights of my life as a performer. Yeah. You never forget the big crowds. You never forget the crowd reaction. You never forget how you felt. So it's an honor to be in your presence and to hear about your experience.
Thank you.
With Black and Brown Theater. So, no, thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Who do you look up to that maybe brought you to this point? Any muse actors that you're like, this is like my person that inspires me to do this? Anybody that you have?
Yeah. Actor-wise, Jamie Foxx is always going to be number one. His range, his talents, his ability to remain relatively scandal-free despite decades in the spotlight. Jamie Foxx is one of them.
That's awesome.
Also, Will Smith. All things considered, Will Smith can never discount everything that he did. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air was, if not the most pivotal show in my life. And then Ryan Reynolds in that. Ryan Reynolds and Ryan Gosling. Ryan Reynolds because his range and then his wit, his sarcasm, his humor, the way he expresses his feelings is someone whom I identify with. Yeah. And that we just feel very similar, even like off camera. I feel like we're kind of similar. Without getting too much into celebrity culture, but that's just someone who I feel like I identify with. And then Ryan Gosling, even though he was a Disney kid, I found out that he was never really too classically trained.
Okay.
As far as acting, he just kind of, went with it. And then I feel like experience is training.
Yeah.
Like no matter how many classes you take, never to discount classes or anything like that.
Right.
But nothing can replicate like real life game time reps. And so those four, but definitely Ryan Gosling for that reason. I love his work too, but Jamie Foxx, Will Smith, and then Ryan Reynolds would be the three on my Mount Rushmore. Even though there's probably more people on Mount Rushmore, I've never been, so I'm gonna stay with three.
Every now and again, I'll spoil myself with flour.
Oh, you say you'll dabble a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, because you can get a bigger portion with a flour tortilla than you would with a corn. So in the play Rapunzel or the movie, is it a movie or a play?
It's both.
It's both. Okay, so tell me more about your role.
I know if I could reveal that to the people just yet. Yeah.
So you play the role of the dad in the movie.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit more about that experience for you and your
thoughts. It was great. That cast, that was the one where I said that being around pros a lot helped. They were people who went to school for it. They teach in schools for it, and like university school, and not to minimize middle school or anything like that, but like they get paid to do so. They've paid money to become good at their craft, and they live it. So the chance to be around pros, like iron sharpens iron.
Yes.
I learned a lot just from being around them, like just osmosis, the way they like approach their craft and things like that, and then even the way they approach rehearsal, stuff like that. So being around them and then having Emilio there too, ultimately coaching us up, coaching us around, putting us in places where we need to be successful. Like that was probably the most like impactful and profound experience in my career, because it was the one that like all of them make you better just through experience. But that was the experience that like, okay, I can do this long term, because not that I'm near their level, but I'm hanging with these people who do it truly.
Yeah.
And they were very welcoming to me. No, you can't have none of this taco. I'm sorry, it was a bug. And I feel him. It was a bug. He can't get none of this one. But yeah, ultimately being around those pros is just such a pivotal experience. And me being able to do this or like really want to continue to do it, because it was hard for me to like, it was difficult, like learning lines, blocking, you know what I'm saying, especially for that length of a show and things like that. It was my first foray into that. Not gonna lie, I was intimidated. Definitely felt confident, like that I could get there. But from day one, I was like, oof, we got a little bit of a climb, for me.
So it was a
personally.
challenge,
Absolutely.
a new challenge for
Which
you.
is that's the spice of life.
Yes.
That's the spice of life. Finding stuff you're not good at, and getting good at them.
Yes.
So that's always one of my things. But it was a blast. It was a blast getting ready for that show, and then the actual shows were, it was everything.
Okay, I'll keep it real. The truth is, you need to give it more time.
So she's not a princess yet?
It's not a crime.
Oh no, Thea, this is perfect. Don't you see?
I guess I missed the good part.
You lied to me.
Lying is a strong word, don't you agree?
This is the best news you could have given me. Seems like everything we promised fell through. And since you broke our deal, that means I can break it too.
What do you mean?
I want my daughter back.
Calm down, man. Don't have a panic attack.
You broke your promise.
You can't change our plans. That deal was final. It's out of my hands. Besides, why would you come back years later?
Because I found the perfect guy to date her.
Do you have a list of maybe artist or actor goals that you have for yourself that you'd like to accomplish?
Definitely. The first short-term one is to get on the Fisher Theater stage.
Oh, wow.
I want to do that within the next 2 years.
Okay.
That's one of the biggest stages that I've seen like utilized for like performances and stuff. So I feel like I'm very much capable of doing that. So that's one of them. And then continue to do multiple plays in a year, like because that like stage is my favorite of all the extracurricular things I'm fortunate to do. Stage plays are by far and away my favorite. They replicate like playing a live basketball game, and basketball is my, it's my happy place. The court is. So the stage is definitely like getting up there for me, but it's by far and away my favorite thing to do in the arts. And so Fisher, and then I want to also go out of town within the next 3 years, like be paid to go out of town to perform on stage. Those are my short-term goals. Mm-hmm. And then long-term, which I said 10 years, definitely want to be in a Broadway play, like a touring Broadway play, even if it's not literally in like going through New York, because it doesn't have to. It can be in Toronto, whatever the tour is. I want it to be through major cities, I want someone to be like, I need you so bad, I'm gonna take you with me.
I see that for you and more. So you'll probably get more than what you envision as far as offerings for your goals. So that's super promising. It's so inspiring to hear that you have all these things that you would further continue growing, expanding on, and sharing with the world, because it's so important for the youth to feel like they have people to connect to that inspire them, and also bringing them positive messages and inspiring them to find a creative outlet for themselves, and also see representations of themselves. So again, such an honor. If you can tell me though, what do you hope the audiences get out of the Rapunzel movie?
Ooh, that's a few things. It's not too late is one of them. Well, at least until it is, but it's not too late. It is one of the main ones. For each of the characters, I don't want to necessarily say redemptive arc. Only two characters I would say actually need a redemption, quote unquote. But where they got what they desired, when they got what had them fulfilled, it took a minute to get it. And there were times when each party thought that they wouldn't get it. Mm-hmm. I played Rapunzel's dad. There was a time where he didn't think that he'd be able to see Rapunzel again. The witch, or who, her stepmom or her surrogate mother, whatever you want to call her, it was a time when she thought that she might lose, someone who she grew to love. Rapunzel thought she wants to see the outside world, what was going on out there, and the prince never thought he'd get his chance at love after meeting Rapunzel and things like that. So it's never too late to get what you want. Also to know what you want, and to be very diligent and dedicated in going to get it, because you will also notice that what each character wanted didn't just fall in their lap. There may have been some fortunate breaks and turns, absolutely, right, but they had to go get it. And so the concept of it's not too late. And because, like I said, I started acting at 26. You'll always hear Shonda Rhimes was like 30 or something like that. Steve Jobs, whoever of these
Yeah.
people who you hold in high regard, they started quote unquote late.
Yeah.
It's not. It's not late. Time is relative. It's made up without sounding too crazy. You know, so it's not too late. And then once you decide that you want something, be intentional and go get it.
Yeah.
Like you have everything you need to go get what you want. And if you don't have what you need, go get that too. But yeah, you can hate to be so cliche, but you can do it. Yeah.
No, that's so inspirational and so absolutely true. We do have to apply ourselves, and I love to see how you've applied yourself and how passionate you are about the arts and your acting. So I wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Very pleasure to meet you, Mr. Beckham. Cameron Beckham, everyone, thank you so much.
Thank you. The pleasure is all mine. Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for spending some time with us with this Taco Talk interview. And please don't forget to check us out in Rapunzel, coming out this fall on YouTube.
I feel the life returning.
I'm just a different human. I'm not the same person I was before these tacos as I am after these tacos.